Heavy Bored.
And these are both 1873 compositions. Noticed how quickly we moved from the 1868 into the 1873 now. These last 200 pages, and here we are around 50 pages into that. We already get what is huge leaps in time from her compositions. And what does that tell us? Well, it tells us she wasn't writing as much. It tells us she wasn't as productive. It tells us that maybe there was something else going on. Or it tells us, she was bored. I think the boredom factor is something a lot of scholars don't give enough credit to. And you see this, especially, let's talk about Picasso. Let's say Picasso, where Picasso's blue period. Why was he doing that? Why was he restricting himself to only a few colors? Almost stick figure drawings, right? And then at the very end of his life, he was doing straight up stick figure drawings, right? Some of his famous sketches towards the end of his life. He was searching for something. He had done all the abstractionist stuff. He had done all the cubism. He had done all these other art forms, and he'd done it very successfully. He got rewarded for it. He's famous for it, etc. But even then, after all that, after all the fame, all the success, all the things that every aspiring artist wants, he was still looking for something. You're looking for the next thing. You're trying to move on. So again, I say that these got worse because maybe her health was bad, but we don't know that. I think she could have gotten bored with her own style. I think that's a very perfectly reasonable explanation as to why this started to be unfinished. She was going through mental illness problems, sure. And you start to read your work, you say, oh, that sucks. You start throwing it out. That's very plausible. Everybody does this. Everybody does this. And I think that when we look for these complicated answers in context and trying to be history professors on top of being literature professors, we miss the very simple explanations about human beings and how they do things and why. I think we're going way too far into abstraction. And again, it's usually always around, when people do go too far into the abstraction around context, political context, and things like that, it's always about comparing it to now. It's always about comparing the author, the work, what's said, well, Emily Dickinson wasn't that good, blah, blah, blah. It's just excuses people can make for ignoring the greatness of certain works of art. Okay, so let's talk about these 1272 and 1270.
Inner.
Resources, American resources.
Being bored?
Some activities are intentional, right?
It shows such a lack of gratitude for life. Bored. I aspire to boredom, I should say.
Bored. Heavy.
I am heavy.
Bored.
Has you the night sweats and the day sweats, pal? Pal, I do.